Good morning, YouTube. Man, how you guys doing today? It is me again, your favorite Texas trucker, and I'm coming to you here at home, as you can see by the background, and that's not a good thing. Pretty unhappy about it. This is actually take two. You know, the first video didn't work out, so let's try this again, and we'll see if we can get you updated. All right. We're going to keep this video fairly short. I know that I've said that before, but I am going to keep it a little bit short, and I'll tell you why here towards the end of the video. All right. I left out this morning to pick up a load. The load that I left out to pick up was roughly a mile, maybe 2 miles at most. I don't even think it was 2 miles. I don't even think it was a whole mile away from my house. And so I pulled out. I got about 2 blocks, and I thought, man, there's something wrong. The truck's just not pulling right. You know, I mean, it's empty and it's not pulling right. You know, there's something definitely wrong with it. And it was fine when I parked it. I've checked it out, did a pre-trip on it before I left, actually before I went to Houston, which we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, I did a pre-trip on it, Friday, and everything was fine on it. Truck hasn't moved, hasn't been turned on, so everything should be in the same way that it was. So I got up this morning, I did the walk around and checked, tires, make sure the tires were up, checked the lights and all that stuff. Everything else I'd already checked while the truck was sitting for the last 10 days. I just checked it all Friday, so everything else should have been fine. So I didn't mess with anything else. Just checked the tires, checked the lights, made sure that nothing was wrong with it, and and I leave out. So I leave out. I get a couple blocks away. Truck starts acting up a little bit, and it wasn't the truck itself. It was just the way it was pulling. It started acting up a little bit. Well, it was kind of like my brakes were partly engaged, but they weren't completely engaged, and I had actually stopped at a stop sign before I pulled out on 51 and set my brakes, and then recharged my brakes to try to see if that would let it loose, and something was going on. Anyway, it was still rolling, everything was still going good. It just didn't feel right. So I figured, well, my pickup's only a mile or so away. I'll get out and I'll check it when I get there. Well, I got about halfway there, and the left rear drive axle locked up, and so it took me about, by then I was up about 45 miles an hour or so. It took me a couple seconds to get it off the road. There was no shoulder here, so I pulled into the center turn lane, and in order to get it off the road, I got it off the road, and got out to check, and it turns out that there's a bracket that it's kind of like a sleeve that bolts to your hub, and it comes off, and from there there's a flange that comes out that it holds your S-cam and your brake chambers and all that stuff together, and they call it a spider, and I don't know if that's the technical term for it. I highly doubt it. It's probably got some kind of a technical term. I don't know what the fucking part's called. Anyway, it had completely broke. And the brake chamber broke with it. Now I don't know which came first. I don't know if the brake chamber broke that caused that to break, or if that broke that caused the brake chamber to break. I don't fucking know. I just know that it locked up, and I drug my wheels on that side of the axle for a good 200-300 feet, which is really, really bad on your wheels. And so I'm stuck in the middle of this traffic, heavy traffic going both directions on both sides of me. The delivery is 200 yards in front of me. I'm looking at it. Or delivery pickup's 200 yards in front of me. I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm thinking, well, I've got a mechanic. I can call a mechanic to come down and help fix the truck. But the mechanic, if I don't pull over, if I don't stop, or if I don't get out of this road, he's got to work on this truck with traffic passing literally inches on both sides. I didn't want him to have to deal with that. So, I sit there and I thought, well, if I drive it slow enough, and if I take breaks in between, I can get that 200 yards or so and get in there where the gravel is, because where I was pulling in had gravel. I get in there where the gravel is, and then dragging the tires not going to be that big of a deal. I knew I was out 2 tires anyway, so whenever I left there, I was going to have to go straight down somewhere and get two new fucking tires. I already knew that. But I figured that, I could get it at 200 yards. Well, it didn't work that way. I got it into the turn coming into the shipper and blew one of the tires. And I was like, well, there's one tire. Can't do anything about it now. I got to keep it going, and get it out of this traffic. So I pulled it through, drug the other tire, and it made it about 10 more feet, and it blew. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I should have just left it in the middle of the fucking road, man. If I'd have left it in the middle of the fucking road in the turn lane, he could have got up there. He probably could have fixed it without having to fuck with anything. But man, it was so dangerous there, and I didn't want him up underneath that truck trying to crawl in and out of that truck, to deal with what he had to do with in that traffic. I just didn't want him to have to do it. So anyway, I'm picking up the load. The load's got to be picked up. It's got to be delivered, and the reason for that is because this is a customer that I'm working on us getting as a direct contact, and so anyway, I went in and I drug the trailer through the gravel all the way back there to the back, and I disconnected from the trailer so that they could go ahead and load it. Called a friend of mine who works for Triple C, who was in town or nearby town, and was able to go repower the load for me, and asked him if he would come back, pick it up, and get it delivered. Of course, he agreed to pick it up and go take it and get it delivered. I lost the money on the load. A friend of mine's going to get the money on the load, and but the load got delivered, customer got taken care of, and that's what counts. So now. This comes after, and this is, I don't know what it's going to cost to fix. I know they don't have the parts anywhere around right now. Kenmore said they've got the part for it, but it's in Oklahoma somewhere, and it won't be here till tomorrow sometime. So more than likely I'm going to be down at least another 2 days, if not more than that. And right now I'm just totally disgusted. This comes after being off for 10 days. This is why I don't take time off. This is why I don't take time off, because you don't make any money when you're taking time off. And that 10 days I took off, I had the money to take the 10 days off. I had money to cover my bills. I had money to cover my expenses for those 10 days. I didn't have the money to cover this, and so this is going to put me in debt further with Triple C. Which it is what it is. I'll pay it off. It's not that big of a deal. I'll fucking pay it off. But this is going to put me in a pretty tight bind. But anyway, I got home a week ago Friday, and this is Monday, and so I got home on the 18th. This is, what the fuck is today? This is the 29th. All right. Is it 29th? Yeah, 29th. This is the 29th. So I got home on the 18th, so it's 11 days now. This is the 11th day. And the 11th, I took 10 days off. 11th day I was supposed to be back at work. And I wasn't intending to take those 10 days off. I came in on Friday to deliver a load. I was supposed to get reloaded, and I was supposed to get reloaded with load delivered Monday, get reloaded on Monday for a load that delivered either back in Fort Worth on Wednesday or somewhere where I could get a load that delivered back on Fort Worth on Wednesday, because I had to be here Wednesday. I was only going to take Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off and be back at work Monday. I was only going to take 5 days off, but they couldn't get me a load for Friday, so I couldn't deliver on Monday, which really, really hurt. I really needed that load. And then we couldn't get a load on Monday or Saturday. Couldn't get a load on Saturday. Then we couldn't get a load on Monday. And then, so that left me Tuesday and Wednesday. And by then there was no point in even bothering taking a load, so I just took the whole time off. And it hurt, man. It leaves me with a zero paycheck. My next paycheck here come Friday is zero. It's actually going to be a negative, because I've still got trailer rent. I've still got insurance, my plates. We're paying our 2290s right now, and all that stuff is coming out. So I'm going to be at probably negative $300-400 somewhere around there. Fuck, I don't know, man. Good Lord have mercy. If there was any quit in me, if I knew how to quit, if I was someone that was willing to just throw in the towel and say I'm done with it right now, today, this would be the time. this would be the time I would be done. I'd say, fuck it, man, go get me a job as a company driver, man, and fuck this, you know. But I don't know how to quit, man. And you know, I mean, these are setbacks, you know, that'll I mean, it looks bad, and it is bad. Without a doubt, it's bad. It'll take me 3 weeks. 3 weeks out there, 3 good solid weeks, and I'll have made back all this money. You know, I'll have made it all back. I'll be done with it. You know, the 10 days off, it hurt. You know, I didn't really want to take it. I had to take it. I had to go to. You know, I'll tell you why I had to take it in a minute, because we're almost done with this video already. But you know, I had to take it off. I didn't really have a lot of choice in the matter, and I was prepared for that. I mean, we dealt with that. But this coming right after that, this hurt, and it hurt bad. Anyway, I went to NASTC. You know, I went to GATS, the Great American Trucking Show, and the reason that I went is because I had joined NASTC, National Association of Small Trucking Companies, and they were having their new entrant survival class, which was an excellent class. I really enjoyed it. You know, there was a lot of good things I picked up from that. And then we went the next day, Friday, to take our youngest, Andrew. Y'all have seen him. Excuse me, especially follow me on Facebook, because we did a lot of Xbox. We did a lot of Facebook Live stuff. And anyway, I got off track there for a second. Sorry. We took him down there, and then I wanted to talk to a lot of the vendors to see if there were any options out there for me. See if there were things that I could do to better myself as an owner operator. And I learned quite a bit, and there's a lot of things that I intend to put in action. And I found a couple of vendors that had some pretty good prices on some things, and I ended up spending a little bit more money than I planned to spend. But, you know, I mean, that's all right. I got some stuff I needed to get, and I'm happy with it. Anyway, then we had to go down to Houston. I went down to Houston to see my mom. My mom's got cancer. It's a skin cancer. It's not real bad, but she's not doing good under the treatments, and I went down there to see her. You know, to spend some time with her, because I don't get to see her very often. So that's why I took off, and that's what I was doing. And I needed to do it. So I did that, and now we're where we are right now. Okay. Anyway, we're about to cut this video off, and we're going to do a couple more here in a few minutes. And this was kind of just an update and explanation of what's going on. And my next video is going to be following kind of along the same theme. Now that this kind of disaster has happened yet again, we're going to be following along with asking a question. And the question is, do you really want to be an owner-operator? My videos tend to be long, and I'm trying to shorten them down. And we'll get into why I'm shortening them down in time. But I'm trying to shorten the videos down, do things a little bit different. But I want to address, as short as possible, the question, do you really want to be an owner-operator? Because it ain't easy out here. And it's like I said right now, if it was in me to throw in the towel and say, fuck it, I'm done, I would be doing that right now. I mean, this is almost overwhelming, disastrous, you know, but there's not any quit in me. I'm not doing that. So stay tuned. You come back and check me out later. Got another video. We'll be loading this video up here in a little bit. And then I've got another video we're going to be loading up called Are You Sure You Want to Be an Owner-Operator? Or do you really want to be an owner-operator? Something to that line. Anyway, peace out. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all of you, every one of you.